Let's talk to Jamal Abdi, the Policy Director of the National Iranian American Council. Thank you for coming onto the programme this evening. Generally speaking, positive noises coming from Iran. Is this a new chapter between Iran and US in terms of their relations?
It certainly appears like it's a new chapter. It remains to be seen whether the two leaders will meet in New York next week, whether Rouhani and Obama, frankly, can hold off hardliners on both sides of the debate to allow for some productive negotiations to take place. But right now, it looks very hopeful.
And what do you think we can expect from this meeting if it does go ahead? Do you think it's just a symbolic gesture, or can we expect more?
Well, at this point, there's a lot of work to be done. I mean, no U.S. president has actually sat down with an Iranian president since the 1979 revolution. So I think what we can expect from this upcoming meeting is probably some sort of symbolic handshake or signal, something along those lines. But I do think that this paves the way for a substantive meeting between both sides to actually address with these outstanding issues that are on the table, including obviously the nuclear issue, where Rouhani has expressed willingness to increase transparency and perhaps put some caps on the nuclear program. But that meeting will also necessitate some discussion of actually easing sanctions on the U.S. side. But I think that this is definitely possible.
With reference to the nuclear issue, I mean, Iran has really taken the first positive step in that. How likely is it, do you think, that the US will actually back down in its opposition to the nuclear program, given the fact that they've now said it is, look, completely peaceful? Well,
what Iran has said is definitely positive, but there is going to be a need for actual steps in that direction to demonstrate to the international community that this is in fact the case, that the program is purely peaceful. And Rouhani has been good on this front. His foreign minister has said that the perception of an Iranian nuclear weapons program is harmful to Iranian interests. And both Rouhani and his cabinet officials have spoken about the need to increase transparency. So if that takes place, if Iran can go to the table and say, look, we're willing to make the program more transparent, we're willing to accept certain caps on the program to address concerns, at that point, the onus is on the U.S. to say, OK, if you do that, we're willing to lift these sanctions. And the real test is going to be for President Obama, because he may be interested in lifting these sanctions. He may view these sanctions as a tool to be lifted once they've achieved their objective. The problem is that he's going to face a lot of political opposition here in Washington. He's going to face members of Congress who don't want to see these sanctions lifted, who are going to say, well, it's one thing for Iran to increase transparency, but we want Iran to not have a nuclear program at all. And so there's really going to be a political battle, I think, for Obama to be able to win a nuclear deal. And this is a road that's going to be very tough to toe.
OK, we have run out of time there, but thank you for your thoughts. That's Jamal Abdi, the Policy Director of the National Iranian American Council. Thank you.